What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video, and today is another movie review. We are back with another movie review. You guys already know what it is, and we are reviewing a film that I'm actually kind of excited to review, one that has been heavily criticized by the critics, one that a lot of people were not looking forward to, called tacky, cheesy, and all of the above, but I actually kind of was always looking forward to, even from the trailers. I mean, it looked cheesy, it didn't look, like the best thing in the world, but I still was very intrigued, and today we are talking about Uncharted. Really interested to talk about this one because I really did have a good time with it. Now, I will say, quick disclaimer, I've not played the games. I tried to play one of the games, didn't get through very far, and then just haven't picked it up since. But I do eventually plan on playing the games and checking them out. But I really had a good time with this. And the reason why I say a disclaimer, I have not seen the games, is because a lot of the people that are not the biggest fans of this film are people that have played the games, and they don't like the kind of portrayals of the characters and things like that. But we'll get into that in a second. But before we get into the full review, it just sucks. It sucks. We hit 1,000 subscribers. Thank you all so much. That's absolutely fantastic. It was a great few hours until I lost 6 subscribers and fell back below 1,000 subscribers. So we are now 2 people away from 1,000 subscribers. We are sitting at 998 subscribers, 2 away. Please, if you have not already, consider subscribing. I do movie reviews every single week, plus other film content. It really means the absolute world. This is a goal I've been trying to hit for a long time. If you've not already, please consider subscribing. It really does mean the absolute world. But let's get into the review. Let's just start talking about Uncharted. The first thing that I really enjoy here, that I think a lot of people that have played the games don't enjoy, but I did, Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg. I really liked them. I liked both of them, actually. I like Holland more than Wahlberg. I think that some of Wahlberg's dialogue is a little cheesy and tacky, and you can tell that it was like written in a screenplay. It didn't feel natural. But overall, this film, 2 things needed to work. You needed to have like the action adventure stuff actually feel believable and actually be, kind of thrilling and intriguing, which we'll get to. And 2, you needed chemistry between Sully and Nathan Drake. And I really like their chemistry here. I think they are fantastic. The film is funny. They have really funny quirks with each other. And in the end, I really enjoyed it for them. I think their performances are both really great. I think that if they weren't, this film would not nearly be as good as I think it is. And that was one of kind of the biggest contributing factors to me really enjoying the film. If I was not on board with the characters, I would not have been invested, but I was. And a lot of that has to do with the performances from our 2 leads. Secondly, the action is awesome. It is so much fun. It is thrilling. It is off the rails. My friend Amanda from AMX, I'm sorry, man, I just butchered that big time. But Amanda, you guys all know her. She's been on the podcast. She made this comment that I actually agree with. They didn't show all the action in the trailers. And some of the best action is not in the trailers, which I really respected and liked. Because a lot of times films like this can butcher the marketing and show the entire film. We didn't see the entire film in the trailers. And I really liked that and really enjoyed that. I think the action's awesome. Sometimes it's a little choppy with the editing, but overall, I think it was relatively easy to follow, which with films like this, sometimes they fall into that pit of the action is very choppy and a lot of cuts and it's hard to follow. And no doubt there are those instances, but overall, I really enjoyed it. Now, the second part that I said needed to work was the action and adventure kind of story and making it believable and intriguing. It was awesome. Awesome kind of classic adventure vibes with the story. I got like National Treasure vibes, but also kind of Indiana Jones and Pirates of the Caribbean vibes. I got vibes of all of those films. You can definitely tell it took inspiration from those films as well as the video games, and I really enjoyed it. I was fully involved from the start, and I fully was invested in the story and what the adventure that they were going on. And I really loved that. I love adventure movies centered around history. Indiana Jones is all centered around history. National Treasure, all centered around history. Different types of history. National Treasure's U.S., Indiana Jones, and this are more kind of world history and culture and things like that. But I really love films like that. In this one, instead of just being a tacky action kind of video game movie, there was a really awesome kind of adventure kind of story and puzzle we were trying to solve, which I really respected and really enjoyed. There is some nice emotion. I will not say that this is the most emotionally invested movie in the world, but the things with Nathan and his brother were nice. I enjoyed those. That's kind of where the buck stops there. I think that it was fine. Very thrilling. It did induce those feelings of kind of edge of your seat action and intensity and thrilling kind of stuff. But I think that there was some nice emotion there, and it did kind of carry through with Nathan and his brother, which I really did enjoy. And honestly, I think this is probably the most perfectly paced film of the year so far. At the beginning, it feels a little rushed. I can understand that. But for an almost 2-hour movie, it flew by. And there were never stagnant moments. There was time between the action. It wasn't just action all the time. But in that time, it was things that were important to the story and the plot, things that we had to follow and latch onto, and I really liked that. It wasn't a bunch of fatty kind of nonsensical scenes. It was all methodically written, methodically put together, and I really, really enjoyed that. With the good comes the bad. This is not a perfect movie at all. There's some spotty CGI. It's hard in a movie like this because anything's gonna look kind of spotty with CGI in some of these scenarios. You kind of just have to go with it, take the leap of faith, and just kind of let it happen. There was some spotty CGI, some cringe dialogue. Like I said, I think Mark Wahlberg solely. I don't love all of his dialogue. I can understand that they're trying to build him up as this type of person that cares more about the money than people, and I respect that and like that. But some of the dialogue was a little cringe with him. I didn't love that. And there was some kind of what I like to call out-of-story writing, where there are instances or things that happen where it just is like, wait, that's part of the movie? Like, what? There was a cameo. I'm not going to spoil it, but there was a cameo in this movie. And it felt so out of place. I get what they were going for. I really liked it. I was like, yep, that's cool. I think that's cool. But it felt so out of the story. It felt so out of place. And there were moments like that. There weren't a lot, but there were a few moments like that. That were, great. I will also add, the villain wasn't incredibly compelling, and that's all I'm going to say on that, without spoiling it. But the villain and the way that kind of goes was not particularly very compelling for me. But it wasn't really about the villain. They were just kind of in opposing force for Nathan and Sully and the crew to try to get this treasure. So I understand it, but that is a criticism I have. That is it. Go down below in the comments. Let me know, what did you think of Uncharted? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know why. And we are going to get into the point breakdown, ladies and gentlemen. And again, I'm probably going to be in the heavy minority of this. I really enjoyed this film. Very, very excited to see. We're going to get a sequel, I would assume. Very excited to see a sequel. I'm very excited to get more engrossed in this world. And hats off to Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland. I think that they were pretty good. All right. Writing. I gave 12 out of 15. Like I said, there was some dialogue issues, some out-of-story moments I didn't love. Performances, 12 out of 15. I think Wahlberg and Holland are great. I think some of the supporting characters are pretty good as well. It is what it is. Entertainment, 10 out of 10. I was entertained throughout. This was an absolutely action-packed thrill ride. It was a hell of a time. I really, really enjoyed it. Direction, 8 out of 10. Good, pretty good. Emotion, 8 out of 10. Cinematography, 4 out of 5. I gave score 4 out of 5. Pacing, 5 out of 5. Some of the best pacing of the year. Technical, which is composed of sound design, set design, costume design, editing, and visual effects, I gave a 13 out of 15. Rewatchability, 5 out of 5, and non-mag, 5 out of 5 points. That means if you did the math, I gave Uncharted an 86 out of 100. Go watch it. I mean, it's fun. If you've played the games and you love the games and are heavily, you know, engrossed in that lore and all of that, you may not like it. That's what I've heard from multiple people that I follow, that I trust, that have played the games. They don't love everything about them. They don't think it's the best worthy kind of adaptation of the games, and I can understand that. But if you've never played the games and you want an action-packed thrill ride of an adventure, this is the film for you. Go check it out. It's a lot of fun. Again, comment down below. What did you think? Did you like it? Did you hate? Let me know why. Let me know. I want to talk about it with you guys in the comments. And please, I implore you, I beg you, I ask you, if you are 2 people that have not subscribed to the channel, we are 2 people away from 1,000. It really would mean the absolute world. If you like what you see, please consider subscribing. Let's get to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. But guys, that is pretty much it. I want to thank you all so much for watching. We got a lot of great stuff coming out in the next month or so, and the Batman is only a few weeks away, and I'm very excited. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next video.